and welcome back to another product profile. My name's Andy and today we're looking at the brand new XS Wireless in-ear monitoring system from Sennheiser. Typically used by bands and performers in studios and on stage, in-ear monitors are becoming an increasingly popular alternative to stage monitor speakers. This is largely down to the increased fidelity and control over the audio you hear, but also the flexibility to move around the stage without worrying about moving away from your monitor speakers or noisying up the stage with lots of different out-loud mixes. Let's take a look at what you get in the box. Straight away you can see Sennheiser have continued to pare down the plastic packaging for their products, which is great to see. Included with XSW IEM you get a stereo transmitter, Bodypack Receiver, 2 batteries, IE4 headphones, DC power brick and adapters, antenna, and finally a rack mount kit. Everything you need to get started straight out of the box. The IE4s that are included in the box are a great low-key headphone for in-ear monitoring, but there's nothing stopping you from using your favourite Sennheiser cans or upgrading to the more premium IE Pro range for increased fidelity and a more secure fit for those high-energy performances. I'll get stuck into the software features in just a sec, but taking a look at the build quality, it's pretty much exactly what you'd expect from Sennheiser. The Bodypack Receiver is nice and light at around 150 grams with a full plastic shell and battery door, which feels nice and solid and is just what you want for a daily driver. The battery door also hides the menu controls with a high contrast LCD screen above it. There's a rigid spring clip on the back for hooking to your belt or pocket, and at the top of the pack there's a combination on-off volume knob, 3.5mm jack for headphones, aerial and an LED indicator light. This shows green when connected to a transmitter, red when not connected, and a blinking red light indicates when the batteries are low. The 1¼ inch screen is easy to read at extreme angles and also powers off after 30 seconds to help save battery. Speaking of battery, the belt pack is rated to last around 6 hours depending on the volume setting. However, in our testing, the belt pack lasted well over 8.5 hours on 2 Duracell ProCell batteries at full volume, so great for all-day use. In terms of range, we took the receiver on a walk around our warehouse, around 100 feet away from the transmitter in our studio, and with plenty of electronics and metal shelving in between. The system performed extremely well, especially considering it's way beyond its usual use case, which would be either on stage or slightly off of stage. The transmitter comes in a low-key black metal chassis with a gloss front face matching the other systems in the XS Wireless range. On the left of the bright 2¼ inch LCD screen, we have a 6.3mm jack with a volume knob for previewing your mix with headphones. On the right, there's menu and power buttons, which are nice and clicky soft touch buttons. The display shows your left and right AF levels, current frequency, bank, channel and gain settings, as well as your current place on the menu. At the back, we have a power in, antenna out, and 2 balanced combi jack connectors for left or mono and right inputs. Finally, there are mounting points on the sides and bottom of the transmitter for fixing the included rack mount kit. So far, so simple, and moving on to the software interface, it couldn't be easier to get set up. Starting with the transmitter, much like Evolution Wireless Digital, all of the menu options are really easy to access from the top menu. There are 3 main options: audio, preset, and tune. The audio menu lets you choose between mono and stereo broadcast and adjust the gain of the system. Preset lets you choose from 8 banks of 8 channels of predefined frequencies, giving you 64 frequencies to choose from. Alternatively, you can manually tune your transmitter to choose a specific frequency quickly. This can then be easily programmed into the receiver via the IR sync. On the receiver, we have similar controls to the transmitter, including band and channel selection and manual frequency setup. On a side note, a little hack that we picked up from Sennheiser is that you can use your receiver to scan for clear channels. Just power off your transmitter and cycle through the available channels using the RF and AF indicators as a guide. If both the RF and AF indicators are blank, you've found a free channel. Just update the transmitter to the same channel and you're good to go. Back to the receiver, and we also have options for a limiter to protect your ears against audio spikes and a built-in EQ. Where the receiver really shines though is in the focus and pan settings, where you can really dial in your sound to your application. Let's switch the transmitter to stereo and play some music to demonstrate. You might want to put on some headphones for this next bit to get the full effect. With the transmitter in stereo mode and focus mode off on the receiver, you'll hear everything from the right input in your right ear, in this case me, and everything from the left input in your left ear. With focus mode on, the left and right inputs are layered together, giving you a mix of both. The mix can be further customized with the pan setting, letting you balance the volume from the left and right inputs. With focus mode on, both inputs are heard in the left and right of your headphones, but you can raise and lower the levels of either one to bring the other into the foreground. With focus mode off, the pan setting lets you turn down the levels of either input, helping you to focus on the other. How you'll use focus and pan depends entirely on what you're using the system for. If you're preparing for a solo performance or presentation, it's likely you only have 1 or 2 inputs to play with, so you can easily pan between vocals and music or stick with a simple mono mix. A band of 3 or 5 members, however, could have multiple singers and instruments, all requiring an individual mix. This is where it would be best to have a separate mixer on hand to combine multiple sources for the left and right inputs. Band members can then dial in their own receiver to support their performance. Obviously, doing it this way, you can connect as many receivers to your system as you like, but you will be limited to just 2 inputs. However, there's nothing stopping you from using up to 13 XSW IEM systems in one space, giving you up to 26 unique inputs. XSW IEM is available in a range of frequency bands. However, some of these can only be used in very specific applications. The main band that will be shipping in the UK will be band E, which is covered by a Channel 38 license and operates in the 800 MHz duplex gap. While this does mean you will require a license to run XSW IEM, it also means you will be working in a much clearer band of frequencies, meaning much less chance of interference during use. Access to this band is also well coordinated across Europe, making XSW IEM suitable for working on the continent as well. Sennheiser are presenting XS Wireless IEM as an introduction to the world of personal monitoring, and despite its full-on feature set, it is definitely reflected in the price. At the time of launch, XSW IEM will retail at £529, which is significantly cheaper than Evolution Wireless IEM and most other comparable systems. While it lacks some of the more pro features of G4, this IEM system is more than capable of delivering pro-level audio that's accessible to novices and non-technical users. This makes it ideal for indie bands, education, houses of worship, or as a steady hire and events investment that doesn't require too much technical hand-holding. Let us know down in the comments if you'd like to see a more direct comparison between XS Wireless IEM and Evolution Wireless G4 IEM and see how they stack up. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.